That's really strong. This is Paris's Charles de Gaulle Airport. I'm in Terminal C and I wanted to share with you what it's like flying on the A380 in business class from here in Paris via Dubai all the way across the world to my hometown, Melbourne, Australia. I just want to start this video by saying I'm really grateful for a couple of things. First of all, to be able to do this. I know business class might not be for everyone or attainable by everyone, but it's the thing I love to do is to travel, and to travel comfortably is a real privilege. The second thing is how lucky I've actually been to see family and friends these last 2 weeks here in Europe. I haven't seen my parents for over 2.5 years. I haven't seen some of my friends for even longer. So I'm very lucky to have been able to do this, and to be able to fly home in the comfort of business class on Emirates is again a real luxury. So for that, I'm grateful, and saying that, enjoy the trip. Also, can you see all the way over there, just to the left of the Ethiopian Airlines Tower, just where the Cathay Tower is going past now, the Eiffel Tower. Bye, Paris. Yes, love an aviation pun. Got about an hour before we board, so we're just spending some time down here in the lounge. I'm actually surprised that there aren't as many people here, considering we're flying an A380 to the hub airport for Emirates. I did actually ask if we can get upgraded from business to first. I think there are some seats available, but unfortunately the fare type that we booked, and Emirates said no. Not complaining, of course, business class, very amazing, but always when you're on the gate, if you're traveling and there's another class above you, just ask the question. Alright, now we're boarding the A380. Next stop?
Dubai! And then Melbourne.
And then Melbourne.
Welcome to Dubai International Airport, where the local time is 6:35 in the morning and temperatures 34 degrees Celsius.
Slept for most of that flight. Just landed in Dubai. Need to wake myself up. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. So here in Dubai, the airport seems to be broken up into two main areas. There's Terminal B and Terminal C for all the international departures. Both of them have Emirates business and first class lounges. So if you arrive in Terminal C but then you're departing from Terminal B like we are, don't worry about going to the lounge in C, because there is another one here in Terminal B. They're a little bit different, but the facilities are pretty much exactly the same. Now, even though we're traveling business with Emirates today, we can get into the first class lounge because of our Qantas status. So because we're Qantas Platinum level members, that does give us access to the first class lounge here. Otherwise, if you're traveling business, you can get access to the business class lounge, which is just next door across the road. Actually, it's not just next door, it's quite a long way across there, because these lounges are massive. Plenty of seats available, plenty of places to sit, nice and quiet. So we're going to do one of my favorite things to do, and one of the big privileges when you're flying business class. Finished up in the lounge then. We've still got about 10-15 minutes before the plane is boarding, so we just thought we'd take a quick walk through the airport, stretch our legs before the long flight back home to Australia. The business class on the Emirates A380 actually occupies the whole top deck of the aircraft, but it's split into two parts. There's the main business class cabin at the front, but at the back there's only 4 rows of business class seats. So whilst you're a bit closer to the lavatories behind you, it actually feels a lot quieter and you don't feel like there's as many people around you. See 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. There's actually 5. 5 rows in this rear cabin, but you get the idea. It's much smaller and a lot quieter than if you're sitting in the main one, which probably has around 16 or 17 rows. Then, of course, one of the best parts about flying business class on the A380, being too loud, it's one of the big pluses of travelling in business class on the A380 with Emirates is if you want a bit of time away from your seat, you can come down and visit the onboard bar and have a sandwich. Cheers, baby. Just one little exception to my comment I made before about sitting in the back of business class on the A380 being really good. The only thing I wouldn't do is sit right at the back. I think it's seat 26G. It's right next to the bar. So if you've got people sitting in the bar, drinking, vlogging, just being annoying, and you are trying to get some sleep, then that's possibly not the best seat in the cabin to sit in. It could get a little bit noisy. For any of my plant-based followers out there, this is what you get if you order the vegan breakfast. Well, this is what I'm getting. Got some tomatoes, spinach, scrambled tofu, couple of hash browns, bread plate, bowl of fruit, very small jam. Very exciting news. I just discovered that this bread is not just an ordinary bread, it's a garlic bread. Garlic bread on a plane. So as the sun slowly starts to rise now, we have about an hour before we land into Melbourne. It just reminds me how incredible this whole experience is. Not just the luxury of business class, but the fact that 24 hours ago we were at the airport about to jump on board one of these amazing pieces of technology, and in just under a day we've travelled basically completely from one end of the globe all the way across to the other. I'm very lucky that I do get to fly a lot and I do get to experience this fairly often, and I love sharing it with you here on YouTube, but still to this day I am so grateful for these opportunities to be able to do this, and I'm still amazed by the fact you can do it. And that's the business class experience on board the A380 with Emirates. All we need to do is land and go see our cat. You ready to see Lola? 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 Hello? Did you miss us? No.